Yeah, I think we've had quite a long pre-season, and the players have been, you know, in sort of pre-season camp since January. So I think everyone's just super excited to get going in the new league format, in the MLS Next Pro, and players are just ready for playing competition and getting out and starting off against the Columbus Crew 2 this weekend, and just excited to see where it is. It's all brand new. So, there's no familiarity with teams and there's no familiarity with personnel. So everything's new on Saturday and we're super excited and we're ready and chomping at the bit to get out on the field and play Columbus Crew Saturday. No, it's very good. I mean, I think the integration between first team to second team to the academy, especially into Miami, is fantastic. We can use players from all those rosters on a particular game day. So that fluidity is just great for development. And you can be working during the course of the week as a U17 player. You could be working during the course of the week with the second team, but then playing against the Philly Union on a Saturday in the U17 age group. And you can work all different ways, and we're that bridge between academy to the first team, and it just gives opportunity for players to get meaningful minutes in a meaningful league. I don't think too much different. I mean, look, we want to make sure we're looking at making the players be brave and confident, and that's what they can do at this level. They can take a few risks at the right times, and we want to make sure the players feel confident in games, are brave to play the style of play that we want to play into Miami. And last year was a good example of that. And what we find is when players come in, for us, it doesn't matter what personnel we have. We want to make sure that they have those feelings going into the game, and then they're expected to perform to the best of their capabilities in an environment where we want to push them, especially the young players. We want to really, really push them to get better and understand what it's like to play at the next level. Yeah, I think that's a great question, but with players coming back and forth, the way we share it with all the players is we're one club. So wherever you train during the course of the week may not be exactly where you play at the weekend, and that's okay. We're one club and we all work together. And I think what you find with Coach Phil Neville and the meetings that we have and his staff, everything's very open and transparent. So it's really important that each player, they don't control where they're going to play at the weekend, so to speak, and which squad they're involved with. But what they do control is their effort and attitude every day. So when they come out in whatever training session, whatever game they're on, that they make sure they apply themselves correctly. And everybody understands that, from Javi Morales with the U17s to Phil and the first team staff. So our job is that team in between, is to make sure whichever players come up from the 17s or are assigned to play with us with the second team, everybody has those good feelings going into a game to be as confident and as brave as possible, and so they can express themselves. Yeah, I think with it being mostly second teams within the MLS, it's a great question because right now nobody knows each other. So I think each club has got their own philosophy, and it's like almost a blank canvas with a new league where you can try how you want to build your team. We know how we want to build our team, and that's the most important thing to us right now. The league, I think what's really, really exciting about the league is the fluidity between the roster. So players on our team have the potential to dress for a first team on Saturday. We've had players already do so this season, and that can happen up to 4 times before that next decision has to be made if they're ready for that MLS contract. So I think that is fantastic. So they're really, really close. Previously, that wasn't necessarily the case, obviously internally, because you're in different leagues with different rules. No right or wrong, but I think as a young player, if I'm coming through on a pathway from the academy to the first team, and know when I make each of those next steps, I have an opportunity to play or dress for the team that is above, it continually gives you something to strive for. So the journey's never over as a young player. You make the next step, you get on the bench for the first team. Okay, now you've got to try and get on the pitch. You've got to earn those minutes from your training, from being in that environment. So I think that's what this league is all about, and that's where it's a unique set of circumstances for our players in our club, where there's real opportunities. If you perform, you have good character, you play with passion, we try and move you forward. I think there'll be different types of pressures. I think when you're playing independent teams, away from home and they've got their own game day fan experience, it'll be slightly different. But I think as this league grows, those experiences will come along with it. And you know, it's going to be a really interesting time when you're on day one. It's always interesting to see how this evolves and develops, but you know, the MLS has a plan in place, and I think it will you know, more and more independent teams may get added to this league, so that will also be created within the MLS Next 2 platform. So I think it's just a really exciting time, and you know, we want to make sure, you know, our game day experience, we're allowing fans back into the stadium, you know, to see them and make some noise, and we can create our own environment and atmosphere here that can be unique to Inter Miami too. And you know, that's something we're excited about, and we want the fans to get behind. And like you say, we want to be able to put on a good performance week in, week out. No, I think, look, I think obviously right now we're still working on the personnel, and with it being international break, we've got some guys away on internationals. So it's one thing we'll expect is that the players will work hard from the first to the last minute, giving all they can for Inter Miami.